stopping back by Wild Bird Creative. I have my Tim Holtz stencil here that is just kind of like a spatter pattern. And I've got just my sheet of paper here and some gray paint. This is going to be a piece that starts out messy and then gets into, being, I would almost say, a little bit fussy. All I'm going to start doing here, though, is just get my background all covered all over. There's not going to be a right or a wrong way. Just have at it. This is a great exercise. It's very meditative. You're not doing anything with precision. You're just enjoying the process. And I'm going to do, as I said, the whole thing. So it's going to require some time. So I think what I'll do, now that you see what I'm doing, is I will continue this off camera and then come back when it's all dry, because this could get really boring. I don't know what, by minute 2 of watching me do this. But grab your spatter stencil, or you can just do your palette knife. You can use that and just go across. Again, there's no right or wrong way for this. See, I'm just coming back in, filling in spots. The whole background is going to be covered. So let me do that and I'll be right back. Here we are. It's all dry. It's looking very cookies and cream ice cream right now. But there's a reason for that. You're probably looking at it and thinking, I can't imagine what to do with this. But we're doing something a little different today. When I was out in Chicago back in May, I saw these fabulous repairs to potholes. And as you can see from the picture on the screen, that is what we are going to create in our own way, mixed media. So let's get started. Let's just begin with a pencil and let's just come on in and very, very loosely, let's draw some lines. There, we'll go like that. And then let me turn it so that I'm working from the other side too. Let's put a line over to here. Let's bring one this way. And you'll see I'm not doing them perfectly. Just the way cracks in a sidewalk are not perfect. And then let's bring this one up like that. And then I've got an art crayon, and I'm going to use the skinny end to come in and do the same thing. Very, very loosely. I'm just going over my lines. Give it another spin so that I can come in over here. And now in the middle, I'm doing some white first. And that may not seem to make a lot of sense, but it will when we're done. So I'm just going in, coloring in my irregular shape. Then I'm using the other end of the crayon to just color it in. Okay, now I want to make sure that I get a nice layer down here. I don't want too much of the paper showing through. And then what we will do is just grab my little water container here, just a little old, one of those, fancy French yogurt containers. And what I'm going to do is just come in and do all of this. Just painting right over it, and I'm not being exact. I'm just kind of following the lines. If my hand wiggles a little bit, that's okay. And I'm doing the big part first just because I want that to have more drying time. Okay, so the white mixed in there nicely so that I've got a lovely gray. Then I'm just going to come in along here and just do the cracks that are radiating out. Again, I'm trying to keep it as loose and free as I can. You know what? I think I might even bring this guy down a little bit. So there we go. There is my pothole. And I'm going to let this dry, rinse out my brush, and that way when we come back, we can start filling it in. I might even add another bit over here, actually. You know what? I think I will. I think I need one more line. No, I'm going to leave it the way it is. I'm going to leave it the way I have it laid out. I can always add one later, because I'm afraid that one here might look strange. But you know what? While I'm here, I think what I'll do is bring this in, do the same thing, and I'm just going to do it with the art crayon. And just go ahead and make the shape a little more irregular. That gives me some interesting angles. Bring this right down here. There we go. Oh, I like that. Okay, let me go wash this up. We'll let this totally dry, and then we will start filling the pothole. We're back. Everything is dry and ready for the final step, which is filling in the pothole. Now, this will take you a while to choose your bits and pieces that you want as your mosaic items, and you'll move them around a lot until you have a design and a layout that you like and a color palette. Then you'll start deciding how you want to put them in. And I would suggest laying them out, looking at it, and then planning to either start from one end to the other or from the middle out. You kind of have to have a little bit of a plan so that you don't end up forgetting what you had thought of, especially if you're going to do it as a true mosaic with a lot of little tiny pieces. I'm using bigger pieces just to move things along a little bit. And what I've got here are not only just plain scraps of paper, but some color copies of some tiles just to add some interest. Just colorful. You can go on pretty much any online site and find some really cool tiles to use. And remember, it's a mosaic. Things are not going to be absolutely perfect. You've got to let go of that and think about the fact that what you're doing is filling in a pothole. And the way sometimes if you look at a very fancy tile job, not only are there irregularities, but there are tiles that get little sections clipped off so that they can fit around things. Just have fun. Let's see, so I've got that little piece in there, and that just gives me a nice bit of blue, a nice pop of something solid. And then I've got these. Now this gets fussy. These are little bits of maps that I have cut. And oh boy, let's see. Let's think how we want this. You know what? I'm even going to slide him down a little bit. And I've got some over here too. Got a whole bunch because I had a whole map that I could cut up. So I think, let me lay them out again so that I can decide which end is going to have only, say, half a tile. And this is slow going right here. Clearly, it's fussy. Okay, he's a little big, so let me nip him off. And now as I've laid them out, I've got this little piece left. And I think what I'll do is I'll then nip another piece to put in there, but I'll start this one almost full. Take off a little bit on the edge. Make sure that I don't let any gusts of wind get in here. I don't have the fan going. So there we go. And this just is a nice accent because it's got a little bit of the blue and a little bit of the orange. And it's very decorative. Again, it's just an old hiking map that I pulled out of a book that was headed to the recycling bin because it had just been used so many times. Saved what I could of the maps. Oh, you know what? I'm going to take a little bit off this guy on the top just so that he fits better. Not much, just a little bit. Just so that I still have some of the fake grout line going around it. Okay, might have to do the same here. Let's see. Nope, you know what? I think that's okay. I might, oh, what the heck? Just snip a little bit off this end here. There we go. I do want a nice bit of the outline. Do the same on this guy. But you can see how nicely it starts to pull together. And you can be as inventive as you want with your details. You can keep it very simple. I could have just done this whole thing in stripes, but I wanted to have, this kind of keystone pattern. Now what I'm going to do, because he comes over the edge, is fold this up and just cut right along with my little tiny scissors. And then he fits in there nicely. I've got the little edge along there. And you know what? I can then just figure out the angle for this and put him in there. Luckily, there's a little guideline right there. And again, let yourself have some fun and play with this. Don't get too concerned with having it be the perfect tile job. It's not. You're filling a pothole. Okay, grab my scissors again. Just take a little more off there. Maybe a little bit off there. There we go. So just kind of a funky pattern right there. Then let's start on the other end and work our way in. Now, color copies are really nice to work with because if you have decent paper, they lay nice and flat. I mean, this is not expensive paper by any means, but it just has a nice weight to it. Fingers are getting all gummy. See if I can pick this up because I want to give myself, again, a little more of a grout line. So that's kind of what makes this neat, is the negative space along the edges and in between. Now I can already see that this is not exactly even, but I'm not really worried about that. I can take care of that at the end. And I'm going to start in one, and I will do the end spot at the end. So I'm going to just come back. Oh, you know what? No, I'm wrong. I've forgotten something. Let me set him to the side. I forgot to put my blue pieces in. Oh, my pops of blue. It would have been okay without them, but I really like them because they're the only thing on here that doesn't have pattern. So, okay, let's set those there. And just nip this little end piece right off. Okay, now I'll just fill this part in as I go. You know, I might even start down here now because this is a little bit of a taller piece. And just work my way across, and I'll be back in probably no time in TV magic to show you the completed piece. Here it is, all done. My pothole is filled. Had to do a little more trimming over here, but I think it works out okay. It's a nice wonky pattern. I want you to grab your scraps. I know I say this every week, but I really want you to set aside some time for yourself to get creative, to have some fun, to explore. Look around outside, see what catches your eye, and try to interpret that in your own way with your crayons and your pencils, your paints, your stencils, whatever you have. Check that recycling bin, have some fun. Fill a pothole. We all have potholes in our lives that need filling, and we should probably make them look as pretty as possible. Be kind to yourself this week. Make time for yourself this week. And thanks for stopping by. Wild Bird Creative.